Thanks again for being with us. We are taking a live look from the steps of the south end of the Texas Capitol. This is where people are gathered and they're singing right now to pay tribute and give honor to those who have served the country. Right here in Texas and across the country, today gives Americans a chance to thank all the men and women who served in the country's military. Right here in Texas, we have one of the largest veteran populations in the entire country.
The latest figures from the U.S. Census Bureau put those numbers at more than 1.4 million in Texas alone. Now, the state agency tasked with supporting and advocating for them and their families as well as survivors is the Texas Veterans Commission. So joining us today to talk about the work they do is Tom Palladino. He's the Commission's executive director and an Army veteran himself. So Tom, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Avery and Will.
And first and foremost, we'd like to say thank you for your service. It is such an honor today to get to say that to so many of those who have served and to show some appreciation for the veterans in our lives and in our community. But we want to ask, what does this day mean to you and the folks at your agency for the people that you serve?
So this is a special day. Veterans Day happens every year on the 11th of 11th day, the 11th month, which is dating back to the end of World War I. It was originally called Armistice Day. And then in 1954, President Eisenhower turned it into Veterans Day to honor veterans of all wars, not just World War I. It's a day where we focus on recognizing and bringing awareness to the service and sacrifice all of our military veterans have done for this country and their families, and of course those that did not come home.
Of course. And we mentioned that you lead the Texas Veterans Commission. You've been there since 2010, which is an amazing feat as well. But I really want to hear more about your military service, if you're willing to share some about that, about how and where you served.
Well, I entered service in 1982 when President Reagan was the president. And I did a lot of my service during the Cold War and the Gulf War. And I served in Germany. I patrolled the East-West German border when there was a border. And then after that, I transitioned and I served the Adjutant General of Texas and an Active Guard Reserve, and I supported our military service members and transitioning service members, and until I took this role in 2010, which continued that, recognizing our service members and helping them with that transition to civilian life.
Talk about some of the ways that this agency is working to do that, to support service members, their families, and veterans.
So Texas, as you said before, Texas has the largest veterans population, and we have the largest women veterans population, over 200,000. Our legislature and our governor and lieutenant governor have given a lot of support. In fact, more than any other state. They call it the Texas model, because they've given more support for our agency to serve our veterans. So I'll just quickly run through them. We file disability claims on behalf of veterans. We're an accredited service. Everything's free of charge. Veterans should never pay for any services, by the way, and that needs to go out to all veterans who are watching. We also have employment services. We help veterans find jobs. We work with employers who want to hire veterans. Veterans make great employees. We have a healthcare advocacy program. We help veterans get access to VA healthcare, get them enrolled, solve any problems with the VA. We also help veterans with education benefits. There are state education benefits, the Hazel benefits, and the GI Bill. Help veterans start their own businesses. We help a women veterans program. And we have a mental health program to get veterans referred into their service, into services to meet their needs. And we have a grant program that awards grants to counties, local government, and nonprofits, which is a vast array of services.
Yeah, that's a wide umbrella of things that you all do for sure. And we've had the honor of having you all come on to our show and talk a little bit more about some of these programs, so it's been fascinating to learn a little bit more about that. Are there certain areas where you would like to see the Commission invest in more or focus in more moving forward? Because of course we want to talk about the years ahead that lie for the Veterans Commission.
Well, there's always more veterans who need more services, so we need to get more outreach into the rural areas and across the state. I think you have a good handle in the urban areas, so we're trying to get out in the rural areas. Also, we're increasing our mental health referrals. So we recently, the legislature brought the mental health program for veterans from the Health and Human Services Commission, the Texas Veterans Commission, so we're expanding that as well. Because veterans come home from war, they could have no issues, or they could have physical, or they could have invisible, right, or invisible issues, mental health. And so we just want to take care of our veterans as much as possible across the entire state. We leave no military service member or veteran behind. And we want to make sure that they know that they are not alone. And we just got to increase awareness of what services are out there to help them meet their need. And that's our big goal.
For folks sitting at home who may want to know, how can I honor a veteran today? Real quickly here, we just have a few minutes, but what would you say to people today on this Veterans Day? What would you encourage them to do?
Well, first off, if you know any military service members or veterans, then you should thank them. Thank them for their service and sacrifice. And just, I always like to bring this up. It's like, I get the question, why do we serve, why do we recognize veterans? Because they're a small percentage of the population who went above and beyond and volunteered to serve and go where their country asked them to go and to do what they asked them to do, to protect our freedoms and our allies' freedoms and our security. And then when they came home, they want to contribute back. They want another career. They want to contribute. Veterans are special because they want to serve the community and the nation and the state. And they want to still do that when they're out of uniform. Sure. Just because uniform came off doesn't mean they still want to contribute. They make great leaders, great teamwork, team players. They want to contribute back. So I would say recognize them and also, see what else they need. I always ask a veteran, what else? Is there something that, in any type of referral that you need, and try to help them in whatever way if they need something.
Well, Tom Palladino, we appreciate you yet again coming in here. I know you were at the event at the Capitol just a short time ago, and you made your way over here to talk more about this. So again, thank you for your service, and thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you for having us.
All right.